Welcome, this is Crimey Queen. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile, makes us laugh. Hence we say the crimson light is live. And I'm feeling to laugh my way through now. Just to ensure that I am vibrating on that high frequency of joy and happiness. Of course, the word happy equals free, and that's what I have been talking about, the three as the magic number. We do all sorts with it. That's the wave. So anyway, um, let's continue our presentations on the number 7. Now, number 7, of course, we have done numerous numbers, words, and for number 7, I am finding it very crucial to emphasize the importance of investigating and paying attention to number 7 in terms of heart and earth. Of course, the two words mirror each other perfectly, which we have various ways of looking at this. That the earth, which is what we plant things in, we build our homes, and we know what the earth is. I also like to look at our bodies as the earth, like in the scriptures, when it speaks of land, the word land, which equals 13, I see this 13 um, is like the earth. This is where in number 2, and it is as number 2. Let's use the sacrifice template here. So we see the number 13 comes into that 2 section, which is 6, takes us into that 6 here, which also reflects Mother Eve 5, and of course here 5 and 6 is reflective here again. So I like to look at the earth, and this is with serious responsibility that I am saying that. But having said that, I have been taking steps to creating a healthier lifestyle for myself as well, and the environment, and paying more attention to my environment, or what I can do, or if there is anything I can do to make things better. And I think as well, sometimes we take it for granted that the amount we can do, or we think that we need to tackle something directly, like recycling, or litter, or something to that effect. I think that as long as we are being mindful to that W aspect of who we are, when we meet someone and we can smile, make them feel better, and they can reciprocate that, not necessarily have to, but they can reciprocate that behavior, or it may be directed to someone else because they feel good about themselves. They have seen you or experienced you in their persona, in their behavior. Of course, with someone having that sort of vibration, they are more apt to be more responsible in the earth. They are more apt to not littering, but paying attention to the environment, and being happy, feeling that free, that vibration, energy working through them. So when we pay attention to the numbers all around us, it's not necessarily asking us to pay attention to one particular number. Well, if that's the choice or the case, because you may be experiencing a number that keeps showing up in your lifestyle, of course, pay attention to it. You know, And the more you pay attention to it, the more you'll understand the significance of that number in your life, or in your environment, or in your makeup. This is what we are trying to say with the number 7. We have within us the 7 chakras. We know now that there are people who can just look at you and see whether your chakras are clear or whether they are functioning and that sort of thing. But the same thing happens in the earth or the environment. We can take a look and see where it is healthy or where it is unhealthy. And this is why I was looking at the word number 7 in different aspects. Because when we do that, we have the upper hand. Well, we have the resources, to be more precise, of how to maneuver and how to handle the numbers, and as though they were tools that we could use to better ourselves. So, excuse me. So basically, we've seen how number 7 is also earth and it is the heart. So I'm going to wrap this up and perhaps do another presentation around this subject of heart and earth. And because I really want to do my best around that topic, so we can really be mindful of how we ignite our energies to paying attention to heart or to 7. And of course, I wanted to also look at 7. When we see 7, we also have Mother Eve in the middle of 7. So in the middle of the word 7 is Eve, which equals 5. And of course, we have 5 at the end again, which is as if it were a signature of Eve, emphasizing her presence in that number, in that word, in that function of that which we are, to pay attention to that. Of course, like in the word earth and the word heart consist of 5 letters. Word and heart consist of 5 letters, which equals 7. And we also see that the word 7 equals 20, which is 2. So it's as if it is showing the depiction of earth, EARTH, which is 1, and heart, HEART. So I have done the presentation on this with the numerical values, and which both equals 7. And we see that when we do the numerical value for 7, let's do that here, which is 5, 5, 4, 5, and 1. 3 5s 15, and 4, 19, and 1, 20. So this is how we get 2. Now, so far we have done presentations that have shown 2, how 2 is so symbolical, functional, it harmonizes, it represents partnership, it represents union, it is unity, of course, union. 2 is really the perfect marriage, or where they decide not to be together anymore, but they still, for instance, the point I'm trying to make is, if you were married to someone and you were divorced, there would still be aspects of that person that you would carry throughout your life. the experiences you shared, the meals, the memories, and all of those things. So you would still have, to some extent, that two-ness, if there's such a word. So that you, that W would still be functionable within you. Okay, so there we are with 7. And of course, the word 7, the word 11, which would be 2, like in the word Jesus, that would equal Jesus. And when we would do the numerical value for the word 11 or Jesus, Jesus would be 11. But when we do the word numerical value, we see that it's another word that carries the word Eve in the middle of it. So 11, for instance, although we are not working with 11, but it's just to highlight now how 7 it has within, in the middle of it. It's like showing us in the middle of the earth, which we have done the numerical value for, or we have done not only the numerical value, but the construct of the word heart. We see in the middle of the heart is the air. Perhaps that is why it is said to listen with your heart. When we listen to our heart or with our heart, or even if it is said that it's in the middle, it's in the heart, all manner of ill or idolatry and murder and all of those things are from the heart, but it still says to listen. It didn't really say that you always have to act on it, although you would still be acting on it or on that basis of the information that you get from your heart. So if it says to murder, but you had listened, you know, you can differentiate the voices or the nurture or the utterances. It's like being in your body, and there are times you have a tummy ache, or you have a headache, or you have something that is not quite in tune, till you learn how to eat right, exercise right, walk right, and doing those things that would help you balance your body. And so that is why we are asked to listen with our hearts. And that is why we also need to pay attention to listen to the earth, meaning there is so much to listen to in the earth, and we pay very little attention sometimes to knowing what, well, of course, the lifestyle that we are bombarded with, it's, well, it's understandable. And so I am saying this, that perhaps to encourage us to go into nature and just listen, perhaps to encourage us to find somewhere, a riverbank, and just listen. Or hear the birds in the morning, just listen, because that everything is really in our hearts. So the earth is an external representation of our hearts. This is what I truly believe. This is why I believe the story of the Garden of Eden, or Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, is crucial lessons to helping us understand who we are. I am not saying whether the story is true or not, but it does offer very good, profound lessons in helping us to understand who we are, our makeup, if we pay attention to what's in the middle of the heart. A, that letter A, which is the same letter A was added to the name Abraham. That was added to Abraham before he was able to have a child with his wife Sarah. So we see that there is a correlation with what had taken place, or it's as if the motion or the function or something is asking us to pay attention to the earth, what's happening in the earth. So, for instance, in Abraham, the letters A, A here, those were added to the name Sarah. Let's use a contrast. So first the name was Sarai. There were two A's. There is something, it's just coming to me now, that there is something or a message. Perhaps this is a depiction of the two A's of the heart and earth. Perhaps I'm just saying, perhaps it's a representation of of the two ladders, or or whatever it is, or step ladder to climb into the heart, into the air, into the heart. And so we have those two A's, and the letter H was also added. So Sarah, the I was no longer in the name Sarah, but H was added. The H was added. So instead of having earth, for instance, it was then heart. So we had this here, and for Abraham, because his name was Abraham, Abraham, again we see two A's were there. These stories, I believe, are all stories to help us learn about our internal selves, who we are, and the external land. So the land, basically, the story of Abraham was about land. All about land, the land of Canaan. And Canaan, I think, has three A's in it. And of course, for Abraham to have overtake this land, and I am hoping that it is Canaan. I've got this right, or I know it's the children of Israel was also going to the land of Canaan, but and of course, so I'm not too clear about all the aspects of this, but I'm just looking at the A's that are just coming to mind now, and I'm seeing that they must be very symbolical. And each A, of course, has in here in the caps or capital letters has three strokes. I think that is very meaningful too. Okay, so Abraham was changed to Abraham. Okay, so basically we had in Abraham H, this is what was added. That's why I have done presentations on aha, because it would seem that the HA was an utterance of laughter that was necessary, and we have H here again, or ha, or exclamation, but we see the two H's here, which, as I have said, it's like blue and green. So it's like blue is here, B, and green here. When we do the numerical value for blue or green, they both equal 4. And of course, H equals 8. So there we see 8 was added. This is why I am saying here, it's like these two words, earth and heart, is as though they are asking us to pay attention to those letters here again. It's like this is H, and we have H here. So this is 13 and 31. This is what it said when ask of my Father, and my Father who is in heaven will give thee. So this is a reflection of Father here, heaven and earth. God created all things. God is 8. So 4 and 4 is 8. So we could call this H here God. God is in that depiction of 8 here. Of course, when we do the numerical value for Abraham, that was 17, I believe, or 26, I believe it's 17. So that was 8. But then it meant that there was something needing to stir up the vibration, because he didn't have the H symbol that would have depict that 4 of blue and 4 of the earth, because he was meant to be taking a new land. If you do not have a perspective of that which you are to undertake, then perhaps you need something, that representation of that which you have to take, that God within you, the 13 are above and the 31 below, which is both 4, but to be able to have a distinction of the two, or have that demarcation or something, that representation of that. But of course, 8 and 1 is 9, and we have done the numerical value for 9, or for air. I think air equals 9. EAR, okay, EAR. So this is 10 and 5. So this is air is 6. Air is 6. But we're talking about as well. We're talking about number 7. So if we did airs, that would be plural would be 7. Of course, with the airs, you can, with 7, you know what to listen to and what not to. It's like the heart has 2 chambers. There we are. So we have 2 airs and we have 2 chambers to the heart. So there we learn about Christ talking about the in Luke of chapter 22, the guest chamber. There is so much that we can be learning from this. There is a wealth of of beauty and a wealth of knowledge that we can be extracting from this, from heaven and earth, because of course everything is in the heavens and the earth. And when I say heaven and earth, I'm now talking about the heart and the air. So this is really wonderful. In the middle here we have the air, and so the heart, it would seem like the main thing is for us to be in tune with our heart, so we can know how to conduct ourselves in the earth. Now, to conduct ourselves in the earth, this would be, there's the R, which is 9. In fact, I had done a numerical value on one of the presentations to show that the 9, we have seen 9 to correlate with beginning, and with 9 is beginning. There was another word that also, it's not a start, but it also depicts like the newness of something. Of course, we see 6 is also new, like as being 15. But there was a word that we got through this. All right. So and going back to the start of this presentation, we learned that we saw that Mother Eve is in 7. We've been talking about the 7 and Mother Eve. And we also can see how we can add these 2 sevens together. 7 and 7 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So basically, Mother Eve is the marriage or the harmony or the relationship of earth and heart. This is why Mother Eve knew that the fruit was good for food. This is how Mother Eve saw from this stage, from her, Mother Eve saw that the fruit was good from listening to her heart and, of course, being in the earth. Her act, which was a work of art, her, was the beginning of all of us, which is 9. When we do the numerical value for the word beginning, let's just do that here. BEGINNING. This is 7, 5, 9, 5, 5, 9, 7, 5, 2. So we see all those fives. It's that presence of Mother Eve. 5, 10, 15, 20. This is 20. Then we have 9 and 9. This is 18. Then we have 7 and 2 is 9. And 8 is, and 7 is 16. So let's add this together. This is 14, 54. 5 plus 4 is 9. So this is beginning. But we see even in the word beginning and all these 9s there as well is really showing how Mother Eve is present in that, in the beginning. Hence the first word of the scriptures is I am, which is 9 and 5. Most of these letters here, that's what it's about. Now there we have that B. Of course, we were talking about the B, which is where Mother Eve in the middle is number 2. We were talking about number 7 equals 2. Of course, 2 is in that where Christ with his disciples, and they were in agreement. This is where we are talking about. Now, the 2, this is where there were the 13 at the table. This is where there's hands were people shook hands on agreeing and whatever was happening to have had that sacrifice done for mankind. We am going by the story now. So basically, there is so much to cover through the word 7, the number 7. We see that how Eve is still 7. Hence, it is said that from in the beginning, of course, and this is the chapter 1 of Genesis and verse 2, seem to give us quite a lot of information here. It's that, and God and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the earth. And so the word moved also equals 5. And we see how with earth and heaven, there seemed to be a marrying together that would denote there was movement to call it 7 or call it Eve. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this somewhat entertaining and, well, informative, I hope. If you have any comments, so please leave your comments. I would love to hear them. And do subscribe. Okay, thank you. Stay blessed, stay ignited, be blissful, be afield. We are planting new seeds. Namaste. And spill over with love.